the type to leave me drowning when I'm down. I even had your back, yeah, when you was out. I was sticking by your side when nobody was around. I know I'm better off without you and all this fake love, fake love. I don't need this fake love.
Freak, are you kidding me?
Yo, welcome back to another edition to the Void Podcast on this lovely Thursday at 4:44 p.m. I'm joined again with my boy James. How you feeling today, bro?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I said on the previous episodes,
right.
I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow. Tune in on all platforms, HGM Media, skits. I'm gonna be doing funny videos, funny interviews. I got some stuff cooking with a couple celebrities, so just tune in, stay tuned.
Okay. That's what's up, bro. So we got the lovely Nina in today. How you feeling today, Nina?
I'm feeling good from my hat to my shoes.
Yeah, it's been a while though. What's been up with you? It's been a minute since you've been on.
Man, all work and no play definitely does not make me dull. Makes me continue to go after that bag.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
That's
though.
it. That's all.
So Nina here to drop some more wisdom for us, get us awoken in life.
I like that.
Hey, how you feeling today, Tori? You know it's Thursday.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. We here.
Okay.
You know?
Anything new with you?
Nothing much. I mean, it's still Inktober, so tomorrow for Friday, you can go get some Flash Friday tattoos at Immortal Ink Tattoo Gallery if you're interested. Got some dope artists in there. I'm working on my apprenticeship.
Okay,
Check
that's
it out.
what's up though. If you ever have some art, definitely show us so we can.
I got this girl name tatted on me. How I get it removed?
A cover up.
Okay.
A cover up's probably your best bet.
Cover up. So today's title of the show is called "Take Two to Tango." We're gonna be talking about like things in pairs, relationships, some life questions as well. There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Before we get started with the questions and stuff, do y'all have any like Halloween plans coming up or for the weekend or anything like that?
Well, like I say, I'm gonna be back Sunday, so I'm probably gonna go out vlogging. I know Joe said he probably gonna go to Six Flags. I don't know. I'm gonna be outside somewhere, so just stay tuned.
Okay, definitely gonna be at Six Flags asking some questions though. Catching people in some costumes.
That's cool.
You got anything going on, Nina?
I'm going to a wedding. One of my bestest friends in the universe is getting married. He's also my lawyer. Shameless plug for John Pulaski, attorney at law.
Congratulations, Mr. John.
And his
Okay.
beautiful fiance now, soon to be his wife, Jackie Gordon. Congratulations to you both.
Congratulations to you, Miss
I
Gordon.
love you both. And I'm actually preaching for him Sunday and again next Sunday because he'll be on his honeymoon.
Oh, okay, nice. So you got an action-packed couple of weeks coming up, huh?
Yeah, man.
That's what's
busy,
up,
busy.
though. Anything for you, Tori, for Halloween? Anything special?
Probably a couple things. I know Immortal Ink, they doing like face painting for the kids and stuff.
Yeah, that's dope.
Cute.
And like little temporary tattoos and stuff for them. And
They
then
tattooing the kids?
temporary tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
okay,
little, so they can feel all cool and stuff.
Oh, that cereal box stuff. Okay.
When is that happening, Tori?
That's actually gonna be on Halloween.
That's
Okay,
dope.
cool.
That's dope. How much that's gonna cost, or is it free?
I don't know about the prices yet.
Okay, we get
Think
more
about
info.
bringing
Let
your
us
daughter.
know.
Get her
I
a
mean,
little-
we might. You never know.
tattoo.
We like the free ball if it's free, though.
I feel you.
We always like supporting businesses as well.
Yeah.
So my first question to all y'all is, why do people keep bringing past trauma into a new relationship instead of facing their problems? I'd love to start with you first, Nina, because it's been a minute.
So I can only think in terms of my experiences, and also you guys know by now, James might not know, but I'm an LCSW, so
Okay.
I'm a counselor by trade,
Okay.
and a therapist. I just think people naturally do that. I think that your experiences base how you view things.
Okay.
And so your experiences become part of your perspective and your outlook.
Okay.
So unfortunately, in these cases, or fortunately, if you've had bad experiences, then it's sort of like it's a bad way of thinking, but it's reality. It's sort of like guilty until proven innocent. Like deep down inside, you're thinking, everybody is like, or this new person is like all the others that you've had, because that's all you've ever had.
Okay.
Until you get some accountability and realize that you're part of the reason for the people you've always had. Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've
same
always
results.
gotten.
I like that accountability.
That is
I
a
love
cool way of
it.
putting accountability, though. Have you ever brought trauma into a new situation? Like maybe while you
Have
just...
I?
Yeah, have you ever
yeah.
been part of it? Or have a guy ever brought some trauma from their previous situation onto you?
Yes to both.
Okay, can you give us a quick experience?
Yes to both. Gosh, it's so many.
Damn.
So
Right.
my children's father,
Okay.
I went through a lot with him.
Damn.
Just a lot. Everything, you can check the boxes of things that I went through. And so, for me, it's unfortunately caused me to look at men a certain way. And so I bring those thoughts. I have brought those same thoughts. For example, the cheating. My feeling is every man cheats. It just depends on
Yeah, they do.
there
We
are
do.
levels
Oh my
to
God.
it.
It is
There-
levels.
And if they
there
get
are
caught or
levels to
not.
it. It's levels to it. Cheating don't always mean you go jump in bed with them.
Yeah.
You can cheat in other ways.
Yeah.
So I think in light of that, I think every single man cheats.
That's deep.
And for me, it's like I'm gonna think you cheating. Not that I'm gonna constantly accuse you, but it's gonna pop up in my head, and until you prove to me that you're not that guy that does that, then I'm still gonna be having those underlying thoughts that you cheating.
Okay.
Like my last ex was not a cheater. I know
Okay.
that for a fact. How do I know? His phone was always right there. Neither one of us had locks on our phone. People used to call and he would say, answer that for me. He didn't have special ringtones for people. So there was no way he's telling me to answer like the safe calls, the what is it, Jesse from the insurance company,
Jake from State Farm.
or Pizza Hut or anything like that, because he used to tell me to answer it, and he didn't know who was. And then people would call me looking for him, and he
That's
never
interesting.
answered the phone outside of the room. He did certain things that let me know he was on at least somewhat on the up and up. I don't think so though. I don't think that he ever bothered. My ex-husband never did it either. I don't think. Just because you learn that behavior, what that behavior kind of looks like.
That's
Not to say that
interesting.
you can always 100% say yay or nay, but you kind of, if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, has web feet like a duck, has a bill, has
Must be a
feathers,
duck.
then it's probably a duck. So you
Yeah,
can
that's
check those
true.
check boxes
That's
and
definitely
say
true.
it probably is happening or it probably isn't happening.
Okay. That's interesting, though.
So, and I think people have done that to me because people have said, where you going? What you doing? And even now, I'm that woman that doesn't care about telling you where I'm going. Okay, I don't have nothing to hide. So,
Right.
I'm going, even if it's somebody I just talked to,
Right.
not somebody I'm necessarily in a committed relationship with, I still tell that person I'm on my way to work. When I
That's
get to work,
respect.
I text back, I'm at work. Have a good day. And they text me too and tell me, well, I'm going to the barbershop. I'm going here. I'm going there. It's not a thing of, we have to get away from this thing of, I'm grown. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Like, that's an ignorant to me attitude. And if I'm calling you ignorant, if the shoe fits, buy 2 pair.
Right.
But in different colors. But for me, that's being grown. That's being grown. That's being an adult. And here we go back again to your favorite word, and it ain't be. It's accountability.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I think all women, just to piggyback off what you said, I think all women should, tell their man what's going on, because it's a lot of things that's going on out here, a lot of bad things, a lot of women coming up missing, getting raped. I was just watching somewhere, it was a girl that was in Florida, and she had just got raped, and wasn't nobody even paying attention. So
No.
I definitely think there's nothing wrong with telling, and it's funny because if I text I'm going to get my nails done, and sometimes I'll forget to say I got there, and like 6 hours later he's texting me back, did you get your nails done? Are you okay? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I forgot to text you back and tell you where I was, that I got here safely. And somebody might say, ooh, that's controlling, he trying to keep up with where you at. If I text him I was going somewhere and I never text him that I got there, how is that controlling? That's just,
and you don't want to text him.
Right. I want to make sure you okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
I mean, I think that's weird. I think that's a trauma response when you're like, well, he's controlling, or because then do you really recognize when a person truly is controlling?
Yes.
How do you got to learn to decipher which is which, which is being protective and caring and loving, and which is being abusive and controlling and overpowering.
Okay, I can respect that. So what about you, James, man? Like,
sorry, James.
you good.
No, so
you need the question again?
No, so why do people keep bringing past trauma into new relationship instead of facing their problems?
So I think a lot of people, they bring trauma into their relationships. For one, it's easy, and then a lot of people think by me getting into another relationship, it's gonna fix my problems. Only you could fix your problems. Nobody else can. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, they don't understand that concept. You created those problems for yourself, so therefore you are the only solution to that. Now, I think most people that want to be with somebody else, they just think, it's okay, like it's kind of the puppy dog stage, and a lot of people, they don't consider the other person feelings. Me personally, this is kind of why I haven't been in a relationship, because it's not saying like I got trauma or I got demons, but it's like, at some point you got to learn how to love yourself before you can love anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't express to that person what you like, what you dislike, and what you want to do or be. So
that's interesting. Have you ever brought like trauma into a new situation, or have that person projected their trauma in your relationship before?
Oh yeah, all the time. I've only been in one relationship, but most of the time when I get with women, they'll be like, oh, I hate my baby daddy, or he just ain't shit, or I got all these bills, and so that's kind of trauma. Like, you living outside your means. You knew he wasn't shit. You still gonna go back to him. So,
Yeah.
So what's the point of me giving you advice on your trauma or anything like that? So
That's very interesting how you put that. What about you, Tori? Are you same question for you though?
So I think people like bring their past trauma into a new relationship instead of solving it, because one, like they said, yes, it's easy, but two, because that's what you're used to and what you're expecting, and you kind of just fearful of experiencing the same thing with new people. So it's like, you don't want to go through that again. So it's like when you meet new people, you're like, okay, are they gonna do the same thing? Are you gonna cheat on me too? You finna kick me to the curb too, or whatever case may be. So it's like, you have to get past a lot of that, and also realize like if the person that you're dealing with, if it's just like a you thing, or if they're actually giving you like red and orange flags that you experiencing the same thing. Like, it's a difference, and you gotta kind of know and be able to tell the difference between that. And sometimes, like, I mean, that's similar to like childhood trauma in a sense, because you kind of grow with that, especially depending on how long you've been with somebody. Like, that stays with you, and you kind of gotta like overcome that a different kind of way, same way how you would like childhood trauma and stuff. So yeah, definitely, yeah. And the other question, have you
ever brought trauma into a new situation, and have that person ever brought trauma into your situation before when y'all first started dating?
I'm gonna say yes, because I would say like my last 3 relationships. So like, it was this guy I was dealing with before, an old girl that I be telling y'all about,
Yep.
and he had a thing where he always thinks somebody was gonna leave or something like that, and he also had like controlling issues, so he brought that into the relationship and kind of just messed it up for himself. So in that sense, like yeah, and then the old girl, that was me bringing it into my new relationship because that was my relationship before my current one, and we was cool and everything, and then out of nowhere she was just like separating our stuff. So now I got like issues where like sometimes I might like, damn, are you you gonna dip out, you still here for the long run, type of thing. I might have those thoughts in my head, like because at that time it was like everything was cool, then out of nowhere it was just like, yeah, I'm cool with this. So it's like, I feel like if you could do that, then anybody else could do that to you too. But that's something that I got to deal with too, because I got to realize everybody not on that same kind of time. Like they might not be putting the veil over your eyes to act like they there, just to not be in the long run or whatever case may be. Like people sometimes they fuck with you, they gonna be there, and that's something that sometimes I don't really have to concern myself with just because I went through that. Per se. And then I know one major one too before the other guy. So that guy, he had to think about me being friends with his friends. So it was like a thing where he thought I was trying to take his friends away from him so like with my relationship now, like we all share each other friends, like we can all be cool together, and it's kind of like if you can't be cool with all of us, then we don't really want to deal with you. But like, and I'm still getting used to that, but for that to be where you scared I'm gonna take your friends away from you, and you don't want me to be friends with your friends, that kind of put a barrier. That was his trauma on me, and then that put a barrier for me too, because now it's like I kind of move a certain way with like other friends too, where it's like, okay, I don't want nobody to think this or whatever case may be, because that's what I was used to, and I was dating them for a couple years. That did affect me in a sense. So I mean, it's just definitely.
That's very interesting. I think you touched on the one thing I do want to comment on real quick. You said that people have an issue with friends, though. Do you think maybe he had issue because he had a friend or an ex or something like that that used to date his friends before?
Probably. That was probably a thing. And I mean, I could understand that. I mean, to be honest with y'all, I mean, my relationship now, him and that ex, they were actually cool at one point. But he ended up messing it up for himself, to be real with y'all, because he was staying with them at a time, and then whatever they had going on in their household at that time, only girlfriends could come over. Right. So like, at that time it was my guy and his girl, because it was just them two, and then I was dating him, so her my girl now and me should be the only people that's coming over. But you bring other girlfriends around too, and bringing them over and stuff like that too. So it's like, what? Was she just your girlfriend? Hold on, that type of thing. So they ended up falling out over like a whole bunch of things, because he was in his space, just being disrespectful and stuff like that. So I mean, I mean, they're cool now, but like that type of thing. But I mean, it just ended up happening the way it did, and it wasn't necessarily because that's what he was worried about. It just ended up happening the way it did, and it wasn't like I was like out to get his friend or nothing like that. I wanted both of them after the fact, but yeah. So
yeah, that's interesting.
So you said you wanted both of his friends, like
no. So my relationship now, like my guy and my girl, they actually used to know my ex, and they actually used to be cool, like more cool, like in a sense to the point where like my guy's parents like adopted him, but he was in their house being disrespectful and stuff. This is before me and them even got together, like well before.
So they was friends before you.
Yeah, and mind you, I done had like 2 or 3 relationships after him before I even got to them to begin with. So it wasn't like I just jumped from him to them, type of thing. It's just they just so happened to be friends back then, type of thing. Okay. And that was something that he was, afraid of. But it wasn't like I was taking anybody from them. Y'all can still be friends. We still, I mean, I just always thought that was weird, because it's like, why we can't all be friends? But that's because he was doing sneaky shit. So Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That and insecurity too.
Yeah.
That's a crazy
Then
triangle.
you said answer insecurity. What's the topic? I'm late. Oh, we was basically saying why do people bring in past traumas to new relationships?
I want to say,
What's up? You gonna say something?
yeah, but I don't want to, I don't want to stop you from having your chance. I just want to say that a lot of people, the reason they jump into another relationship, piggybacking kind of on what you said, James, they haven't healed properly or completely. Let me not say properly. Let me say completely. And then when you haven't healed, you're thinking that, okay, if I jump into another one, it'll heal me up faster.
Nah, it don't. It just
And it doesn't. It creates more problems.
the only thing like jumping into another relationship does.
That was in the past.
It
I'm
really-
still with who I'm with now. It's been 3 years.
It really just kind of just put a band-aid over the score that's already got a band-aid over it. You keep putting band-aids over it, and whole time it needs stitches. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So, and people out they don't understand that concept. Like, but the only person that could stitch it back up is yourself. You know, so.
You and God. It's you and God. Yep. You putting a Band-Aid over a stab wound.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Insane.
Right. I think people bring trauma into relationships because of a few reasons. People are never taught to actually deal with their problems. They're taught to like suppress and move on. And we always talk about communication. That's the biggest thing right there, communication. And when I would speak from a male perspective, when men communicate and they voicing their opinion, they're looked at as form as being feminine or being too over emotional.
Right.
And that's why a lot of men tend to like suppress how they truly feeling, and they just kind of deal with it. And then once they get to that boiling point, they want to argue, fight, break stuff.
Nah, for
Yeah,
real,
I
for
mean,
real.
it's real tough.
And you know, not to cut you off,
You
but
good.
I think it's kind of hard, like you say, it's kind of hard for men to express their emotions because, like you say, when we do express our emotions, it's
Right.
like, okay, we gay, we need to go see a therapist, and
just
Your
shut
feminine
down.
side
Or
coming
you light
out.
skin. Or you light skin.
you know, most women, not all women, but most
I hate
women,
that word.
especially like when you in a
Feminine
relationship,
and masculine
they
energy.
look to kind of use your emotions against you. You know what I'm saying? To
Right.
control you. So that's why
Shout out
it's
to
important to keep good company around you.
Right. And I also think too, like, people also are like,
Thanks for tuning in.
oh yeah, people also very like not aware of what they actually feeling too though. Sometimes people move like zombies in the world where they just get into a routine. And when something throw off the routine, they become a chemical imbalance. So like emotion is part of a chemical imbalance. If you wake up every day and you always angry that you gotta go to work, and then one day they do something positive at work, you become happy. That's gonna like freak the fuck out of you. It's gonna freak you out though, because you know what I'm saying, because you never used to that before.
It's a shock.
It's a shock factor. So you like, wow, this is something different. You don't even know how to receive it for real. And I think that's another reason about trauma too. A lot of us don't understand when we going through trauma like a death or a heartbreak or something that's mentally draining, and being able to either talk it out through therapy, through friend groups, through ministry, and all these type of things like that. Instead, we like to keep it inside, move on to the next person, and then keep on pushing and stuff like that. And then as far as like, have I ever did it? I think everybody's guilty of this in some type of capacity. I think everybody has trauma. And the reason why you have trauma, and I think it evolved into like trials and tribulations in one life, because everybody has been through some form of catastrophe. Some people might view your catastrophe might be on a small level, but a small level could be a major level to you. So you just have to learn how to be able to turn a trauma into a triumph. I think that's the best way of doing this. I have been guilty of doing it in the past.
What's an example?
I would say when I was a little more younger, I probably would like bring in forms of insecurity, like as far as like people like entertaining genders. I used to be big about like, I don't think a woman can be friends with another man and be very platonic. I just don't think that's the thing though. I'm saying when I was younger. When I got older,
Very much
obviously I grew from that. But I used to believe every man want the same thing. So if that man want you in some type of capacity, he's just been friends with you, waiting his opportunity. That's what I used to think. Now I don't. I think that half the time, not as
Yeah, not as much.
not as much, man. You know, I seen people that can be friends with people and stuff like that.
Shout
What's
out
the
to
next
my
one?
soulmate of over 30 years, Ryan Walker.
Okay.
My bestie,
Shout
who is
out,
I've
Ryan.
never even. We kissed one time to. It was funny because these guys kept staring at me. He was in the car with me.
Nice.
And he wouldn't tell me what the ploy was. He just said, just follow along. And I was like, what is he about to do? So outside, he kissed me, and they was like, you like somebody broke their heart. It was like, she with him. But that's the only time we've ever had anything, and it wasn't no tongue kiss either. So
clean,
yeah,
though.
shout out to him and his.
Shout out Mr.
I hope his
Ryan.
wife's not
Hold it
watching.
down for the
I hope,
friends.
sorry, Sharon. But
that's hella
that was
funny.
way before you, Sharon. But
Right.
Yeah, put that out
you know,
there.
What's the
yeah,
next
for
one,
real.
The next question. So it says, in a relationship or a marriage, should the man take the lion's share of the blame when it fails?
Do you know what that means?
So you're saying like basically if say for example it's time for them to file for divorce or they break up or whatever, you saying like should the man be responsible for the breakup?
Take all the blame.
Yeah,
in a sense
majority,
and take
yeah.
the blame of
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no because the girl gotta be accountable, be held accountable too in a sense. Like sometimes it just depends on what was going on or the reason for the breakup, really. But
Hi, sis.
sometimes both
Thank
people
you for
play a
tuning
part
in,
in a
Diane.
breakup, or
Love
sometimes it might have just been one person, not the other person. But it's never gonna always just be the guy fault.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little bit of both of y'all fault or her fault, or it's gonna just depend on what's going on. So you can't just say that y'all didn't last, so it's your fault y'all
Right.
didn't last, because then you just kissing ass through the whole relationship, and that's not what it's supposed to be at all. Like,
My girl, Tori.
so it's just like
Keep it a buck.
I'm just saying you
That's
can't
true.
just
Keep it a buck.
you can't just kiss ass the whole relationship, and then because it didn't work, now it's your fault. That's not how that
Tori,
works.
you're one of my favorite young women. I promise you are. Ask Joe every time
she brag on you a lot.
I
That's very
absolutely love you. I think you're amazing as a
Thank you,
young
thank
woman. You have
you.
amazing insight.
So you think
I
it should be
appreciate
50-50 blame?
I wouldn't even say 50-50. It just depends on the situation. Because, again, it could have been, that she was cheating. And now it didn't make it because he couldn't get past it and could forgive her. But it's not going to be his fault that he couldn't forgive her. Shouldn't have cheated in the first place, type
That's
of thing.
deep.
Or, vice versa. So it could be 50-50. It could be 60-40, depending on,
Depending on whoever
Yeah.
got the most. But both parties deserve some form of blame.
Yeah, some
So-
sort of accountability. You
Okay.
can't just take the blame for everything. Because if she was the one that's cheating, how you going to take the blame for it when you're not the one that was fucking up?
That's interesting. What about you, John?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's really messed up. Even like most of the time, most marriages, they end in divorce because of financial reasons. But what's kind of sad about it, it's always gonna look at as the man fault, because it's like, man, you didn't keep your marriage together. You know what I'm saying? And I think the blame, it shouldn't be 50-50, but most of the time, like, is really gonna get put on the man, because the man is the the provider, and he's supposed to keep stuff together, basically. So
Okay, that's interesting right there. So do you think that both parties should be held accountable for it, or do you think it's kind of like how Tori said?
no, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think it should be more on the man. Like, because at the end of the day, like, you
My answer
chose,
gonna mess you up.
huh?
I said my answer gonna mess you up.
Cause you chose,
Oh, Lord.
you chose that woman. You know what I'm saying? You done
Interested.
had kids with this woman and everything, so you already knew
think
what
the
it
same.
was. So
We think the same.
you gotta pick more effectively. Like, you can't get mad and be like, well, this person never showed me this side or whatever. But it's like, you never got to know that side. You know what I'm saying? So.
Or you seen the
it
flags and you
sucks.
ignored it.
Huh?
Or you seen the flags and ignored it.
There you go.
My point exactly. This is like a dude. He messing with a woman with with 3 kids, and then she cheat on him and he get a divorce. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All 3 of them was different baby daddies.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself in that situation. Ain't nobody do that but you.
Nah,
So
okay, I can respect that. What about you, Nina?
I absolutely do not think on either side that anybody takes 100% blame. Even if someone's cheating on you, I've had people cheat on me, and then I've had to look at, yes, it is them because they're ultimately making that choice.
Right.
But what is it they're seeking in that person that they can't seem to find in me? Is it something that I'm doing? I asked. So my children's dad, everybody pretty much know the story by now, but my children's dad, who happens to be a great father, so this is not a bashing, a male bashing for those who are watching that think I'm bashing him. I'm not. I'm telling the story. Yeah. So he had a child outside of our relationship. So we have children that are 2 months apart. And I said to him at one point, why do you keep going back? He had cheated on her before. Way before, years before that. And they kept in touch. And we moved all over the country. And she was living in New York. And we were in Cali. So I'm thinking, okay, he can't really cheat. Because she in New York, he in Cali. Well, they were... Well, that was me being naive. You absolutely right, Tori. You're absolutely right. But, that was me being naive.
I'm just saying because obviously it didn't go that way here.
No, they were making up secret rendezvous and getting together. And the thing about it is, I kept saying to him, why do you keep going back?
What was his answer?
When he was telling me that I was everything he could ever imagine for a wife, for a mate, for a woman, all of that.
What was his
but
answer?
yet he couldn't answer me. He never gave me a straight answer.
That's crazy.
I looked at one second, let me just finish
I got
this.
you.
I had to look at myself and do a self inventory to say, where am I falling short? Maybe I am in some areas, so let me go down the list and start checking it twice, just to reassure myself that it's not me. Sorry, right. James, go ahead.
No, you good. I think like, how can I say this? And I'm not saying you, but like a lot of women, they really can't handle the truth, and it sucks, but most men, I'm just saying most men, every woman don't have, everything that satisfy man. Like, we physical creatures, you know what I'm saying? And I talk about that all the time. Like,
I'll show you a picture of her, honey, and everybody else, men and women alike, that have seen a picture of her said, wait a minute, he made the wrong choice. Yeah. He went from that to that. But what was he thinking?
And I say this to say, like, men, like, we could have a wife, you know what I'm saying? We love her, but we could go cheat, you know what I'm saying? Cheat on her, and we still love her. We don't care about the woman that we just cheated with. That's just, sometimes it's just how we design. And a lot of men nowadays, they don't have that discipline. But like you say,
he's married to her now.
He married to her now?
Damn.
Because after 3 years, I wouldn't go back to him. I said, if I go back to you, our kids won't have parents. And he said, what do you mean? It was a domestic violence issue, so that's why I walked out, never to return.
Right.
Matter of fact, it was just October 26th that I walked out of that house. My baby was 2 years old.
Damn.
And I left. When I say left, it was gone.
Yeah.
Not coming back. And so after 3 years of trying to get me back, then he married her, which is fine with me. Fine with me.
That's crazy.
I had reached the point that I didn't want him anymore. So fine with me. But at the point that I still wanted him, this was when our son was like a couple months old. And I was just like, why do you keep going back? And he couldn't really answer me because there was no real answer, for real. It wasn't. It was just something he wanted to do. I think it was something within himself. I don't want to discuss too much of that because
Right,
of
right.
people that know both of us. So I don't want them to say that or I don't want it to be said that I was putting him down on the podcast because he's a fantastic.
You started off with him. He was a great
He's
father.
a fantastic father to both of my children. To a child that wasn't blood his, but you can't tell him that.
Okay, so let me ask you something. So he never said like why he chose her instead of you.
And to this day, let me tell you.
Will he tell you?
You want me to break it down for you?
Yeah, break it down.
To this day, he look at me up and down when he see me, and she wants to come to every occasion, even our son's graduation that's not biologically his. She or obviously not involved with her.
Right.
She came to make sure, cause even she know how he looks at me every time he see me.
I mean, you the mother of his, of his child.
Ain't both
so
of them the mother.
Yeah, she's the mother of his child too, though.
right, but that's just how men are. I could be with a girl and I'm still gonna look at the other girl that just walked past her. But it ain't like I don't want to be with her. It's just men. It's just
he realized it now,
nature.
but ain't no U-turns. Ain't no cutting across and come. I'm gonna cut across this street and I'm gonna come back down to where I started.
So let me ask you something. Just to since we are on this topic, do you think that you did anything wrong, or do you think it's anything that you could have did to help the situation?
I think there probably were some things that I could have done differently, but I also was doing everything. I cooked every meal. I made sure his favorite. He was spoiled. I made sure that every dessert that he could have thought of if he wanted it, it was there. I made sure his clothes were washed. I made sure his dry cleaning was done. I made sure the house was clean. I took care of both of the kids. You name it, I did it all. And it's funny because I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this out there. When he cheated on me, because she wasn't the only one he cheated on me with. He cheated on me with multiple women. And then later when it was all, the whole deal went down and everything was on the table, he said, man, I used to be pissed when I would go cheat, because none of those women could do anything physically that you used to do. I said, well, that's what your ass get for cheating. That's what you get for cheating.
I think he capping.
Hey, Corey, what's up?
He was just
shout out to
telling
my
you that-
mechanic, Corey Jones. If you need a mechanic, man, that is your dude.
I think, honestly, he was just telling you that maybe just to get back in your good graces. But you can't tell me, like, he was just cheating and you was the best thing in the bed. I think he loved you, but I think it's also something missing. And see, he at some point he gotta tell you the truth, because that's the only way that y'all gonna y'all was gonna fix it at the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's too late now. But
this was a 10-year relationship, so
right.
I'm talking to you about.
Questions, by the way.
I'm talking to you about periods of time, different periods of time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that cheating occurred earlier in the relationship. The baby occurred towards the end.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. But I was shouting out my mechanic. Fantastic. He's over on 8426 Broadway.
Yeah.
What was your
Hit them
answer?
up.
You talking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm finna give it to you right now. I'm finna mess y'all up. Yes, the man should deserve the lion's share of the credit, and the reason why he deserved the lion's share of the credit.
The credit or the blame?
I mean the blame. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah, he deserved the lion's share of the blame. My brain just
I was
went.
like, wait a minute.
No reward. That's not
No,
a
he
reward.
deserved the lion's share of the blame, because it's like this: you call a man a king or the leader or the head of the household. When stuff goes wrong, who do they blame? The leader. That's who you are. You're the leader. Your job as a man is to protect and provide for your family. If the woman go out and cheat, it's your fault. You go out and cheat because you picked that woman. Facts. That's facts. If you go out and cheat, then it's your fault because you cheat yourself out of your family. If you didn't communicate well with your woman, then it's your fault because you didn't exercise all the rights to communicate. If you didn't keep her invested, that's still your fault. Just like you get all the praise when stuff go well and you want to be recognized as the king, as the head of the household, the man of the house, then it comes with those responsibilities. It's the territory. Right. It's your fault. I hate to say it.
Well, if that's the case, quit blaming Eve then.
I'm not going to blame Eve. I mean, Eve did trick Adam.
Yeah, she tricked him, but he knew better and disciplined.
Adam let Eve trigger.
He got the instruction just like she did.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. That's why Adam took the blame. Will he took the lion's share, but he got
the lion's share of the punishment. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I said. That's why the man deserved the lion's share of the blame.
He did
because he was there first.
He had to work and sweat till feel. We wouldn't have to work if it wasn't for y'all.
That's what that's what I'm saying. So I feel that way. I feel like if you're gonna be the man, that's your duty. You're gonna take the big credit when everything goes well. You're gonna take the majority of the blame when it goes wrong as well. To me, though.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, the next question is a 2-parent household important or is it overrated?
Very overrated. Very overrated.
I disagree.
So I would say that it is important. But at the same time, like, if you ain't got it, then you ain't got it. You know, still make do. So, me personally, I grew up with my mother. And at one point, she tells me my dad wasn't there. But long along the way, by the time I reached, like, 9, 10 something, I remember him being there.
Hey, Marcus. And shout out to Marcus Harris.
He's been there.
Thanks for joining in.
He's been there since. So, as far as that, though, I still was raised by my mother, though. So, like, it was still things that my dad was able to still teach me, though, even though he wasn't in the household per se. So, in that sense, like, you know, even if you don't necessarily have the 2-parent household, it doesn't necessarily, like, you know, make or break it in a sense. But on a flip hand side, if you have one and not the other, then you have the mother playing the mom and the dad, or you have the dad playing the mom and the dad, and then it's like you're lacking that father figure in the role in the life, or you're lacking that mother figure in the role in life. So it's like if you're raising a daughter or a son, say for example it's a daughter, if she's missing the father figure in her family, say for example it's not a situation like mine where even though he wasn't in a household, we still had that relationship together, then she's gonna have daddy issues. Or if it's like the son on the flip hand side, then he's not gonna really know the way, like he's not gonna have that father figure in his life to kind of teach him how to grow up to be a man in a sense like that, and vice versa in a sense. So that's why I think that it's not necessarily overrated, but it definitely helps when you have both of them in the household. But sometimes they could be in the household not doing shit too. So you know, I mean, hey, I want
to hear what you got to say before I go.
I'm going next. So it's very overrated. Very overrated. Let me ask you this question right here: if you're only raised by one parent, are you not gonna be successful?
That's not the case at all.
The chances are slim, though.
No, it's not. It's a lot of people that's very successful and they came from one parent household.
Don't even know their dad or don't even know their mom.
It doesn't affect the values you're gonna get. It doesn't affect how you're gonna grow up in life. Yes, you will have a better outcome having two in a financial situation and a little bit of stability and structure, but it doesn't affect anything. It's a lot of women, that single women out there that have raised predominantly kids who come out and be very good in the world. It's people out here that like who was a waitress. And I seen that waitress or work low end economy jobs, and their kids out here as CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, or they playing in the NBA, they playing in the NFL. So no, I don't think it's as important. I think it's more of a world type of stigma. Like when you watch stuff on TV, that's what you was taught. Mom and dad in the household,
and that's what you want to aim for in a sense too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree. Everybody, nobody wants to be a statistic in no type of shape or form. But in reality, is if both parents are not in the same household, that don't mean you're not gonna be successful. That don't mean you're not gonna have good values. That don't mean you're not gonna have good rules. That don't mean you ain't gonna have everything you want.
Well, yeah. I think. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. So I had both of my parents, you know, my mom and my dad, they was together for 25 years. God damn. They was married. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They been together my whole life. But one of the things that I noticed, especially like with my friends and just people I've been around in life that's, you know, that was raised by a single mother and didn't have fathers, like when it come to like on how to do like certain shit, they can't do it. Like I got a lot of friends like they'll have a job or whatever, and you know something to happen at their job, and they're just like, well, I'm gonna just go quit. And it's like bro, like as a man, like you supposed to go talk to your boss or talk to whoever so you can fix that situation. And it's kind of like an emotional connect, like back to the relationship by them not having like a father figure or a mother or whatever. They feel like they gotta get in a relationship and they gotta go from relationship to relationship. So now they gotta cling on to something because it's like they kind of gotta feel they kind of gotta fill that void. And then too, like I said, most of my friends, like when you do give them advice, they feel like it's kind of like somebody attacking them. Like if I tell my friend, like, hey bro, like you need to do this and that. Oh, you don't know what you talking about. But see,
they never had a dad telling them.
That's what I'm saying. And you need that constructive criticism. Like my mama could say something or yell my name. I know y'all probably heard that saying. Like your mama could yell your name 4 or 5 times and you won't come, but your daddy could say it once and you come. And I even see it with my son. It's certain stuff that he do around his mom that I'm not gonna allow. You know what I'm saying? And it's certain stuff that she might let get away, but I'm not gonna let get away. So that's the difference. And I see it in some of my friends. I see it in some of my family members. Just how they go about, reacting to life. So.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now this is the last.
Now they don't have to be together. I'm not saying they gotta be together, but I do think you need two parents.
So what I was gonna say on that is, I think kids raised in, it's nothing against you, but I think kids raised with a 2-parent household tend to be a little bit more sheltered. And I think people that's raised,
I was sheltered as fuck with my mama by herself.
Listen, I'm finna say first. A lot of people that's raised in a 2-parent household, they have more the mindset of what he said earlier. They like, I'm gonna go quit my job, or they're gonna stay home, or they have that crush to be able to say I'm gonna be at home more, and versus going out there and put themselves in the world. I think people that comes from a 1-parent household, they're taught to grind a little bit more because they might be out there helping their mom pay bills. They watching they sibling. They mature a little bit faster. To me, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
No.
I see what you saying, but at the same time, that's really crippling us because it's like we gotta grow up faster. If you come from a single parent household, you gotta damn near grow up twice as fast as the next person. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. If you come from a 2-parent household, most of the time your parents is gonna save enough money to set you up, you know what I'm saying, for college or success. So it's like you get a chance to kind of learn. Vice versa, if you go get your own apartment at 19, 18 and you struggle, and then you get 26, 27 and you trying to fix the shit, it's 10 times harder. Now, I do see a lot of people that be like, yeah, I gotta move out and this and that, but I just like I say, I just see the disconnect. Like
I think struggle make you a stronger adult. I just think it does.
Yeah,
it
To an extent.
I think it makes you. I rather struggle younger than struggle older. And the reason why I rather struggle younger is I think it mature you faster. It teach you about life. It teach you how to balance your books, how to get credit, how to value things. When you giving things, you do not value nothing that you're giving. When you earn it, you value more. You value more when you earn it.
I listen. I understand what you're saying, but it's easier. It's easier. Like I say, it's easier when your parents set you up for success. Because, for instance,
that's more of a crutch, though.
Yeah,
that's a crutch.
That's definitely
a crutch.
But this the thing. But this the thing.
Yeah.
This the thing.
Can be.
My parents, they didn't know about credit, so I had to teach myself. You know what I'm saying? But if I could have got the game younger, you know what I'm saying, vice versa to me getting it older, I could have been more set up for success. Like I say, I got friends, you know what I'm saying, who had both of their parents. Their parents taught them the credit game, you know what I'm saying, got them put on at their job. Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, that's how you establish wealth. You know what I'm saying? When you don't work together and everybody, they kind of like going at against each other, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, it just ain't cool. But I think it just helped. Just like for instance, everybody is pretty much taught, especially in a black culture, like, you know what I'm saying, you move out, you get you a car, this and that. But I seen friends, you know what I'm saying, once they get a certain age, their parents get them a car. So that ain't that car note money. Like they could put that up. You know what I'm saying?
But
and they
how
can
many
learn
people
how.
actually put it up though?
Huh?
How many people?
A lot of
actually-
people. A lot of
I
people.
don't know. I think that percentage low.
Some
I
people
think that
fuck it
percentage
off
real low.
too.
But I
Cause you
wanna
gotta
Nina
look. You
real
gotta.
quick though
Yeah.
on that question though. Nina, what you think about that though?
I think so. I see it from both perspectives because I was raised in a 2-parent household, but my kids weren't all the time.
Okay.
So, you know, people can say whatever they want to about my daddy. Because those of you that know my daddy know my dad drank. My dad used drugs. But let me tell you, my daddy is still everything. And everybody need a Ricky Ramsing in their life.
Right. I love them stories.
I say that all the time
Yeah.
because my daddy, having my daddy around, saved me for, you know, reasons that I won't discuss. But also, he taught me. My mom taught me certain things, and daddy taught me certain things.
I can respect
because
that.
they come from different family structures, different ways of looking at things. My mom came from like this aristocratic family. My grandfather was, you know, very prominent and all of this kind of stuff. So my mom had maids and nannies, and my grandfather had a butler and a driver and all of this kind of stuff. My dad didn't have that. My daddy and them was dirt poor. They came up later, probably close to being adults. Some of them were already grown and out the house when my grandfather came up.
Right.
That's interesting.
So they view things differently. Like my dad pushed education. My dad still to this day says, please go get a doctorate before I die. I need that doctor in front of Ramsing before I die.
Right.
And so, you know, just different things that he taught. Daddy was strict. My parents were both strict. But daddy was strict about some things. My mom was strict about other things. And so it balanced. It gave me somewhat of a balance. Now, fast forward to the future and me raising a child by myself. There were things I don't care what anybody says, and I know I'm gonna get pushback because it's always pushback, but I raised boys, so I can say this. I have license to say this. A woman cannot raise a boy to be a man. You can raise him to be a good person. You can raise him on how to treat a woman. But you cannot you can't even raise him to stand up and pee.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay? No one knows what a black young man is facing when they get out into this world.
Right.
So you can think you're doing that, but it takes both parents to prepare that black child, whether it's a boy or a girl, but it's really imperative for a boy because we're losing our boys. We're losing our boys to the streets. We're losing our boys to death. We're losing our boys to prison, unfair prison, you know, and other nationalities and races are getting away with things that our boys are going to jail for. And I used to tell my boys all the time, please don't go to jail. Like that's the worst thing next to death. Please don't. When they stop you, please be polite. Please do what they tell you to do. If they rough you up or they do you wrong, I'll deal with it. I promise you I'll deal with it. I will go to war for either one of you. But when you come home, you got to have mama in that safe place. My 32-year-old son was told to get out by his children's mother, who happens to be Caucasian. Okay? He couldn't do anything because her mama works at the clerk's office. So he going to jail if he do anything. So he just left. But into whose arms do you think he came to?
His mother.
His mama. But then, when the dust settled, who you think he called for advice how to deal with it?
His daddy.
Absolutely. He called who he calls his daddy, my youngest son's father. He calls him the sensei. He said, Mama, when I'm emotional and whatever, and I need like that emotional advice, I call you. When I need,
Real life events.
what does he call it? He doesn't call it real life. He calls it logic. When I need logical advice and I need what to do in that moment, not how to feel or how to how to process how I feel, but what to exactly do, I call daddy. And so I'm not certainly saying that you can't be successful. I'm just saying that it gives a different a two-parent household gives a different perspective, even if it's not the most, if it's dysfunctional, because I think everybody has dysfunction. Nobody's perfect. My parents were married for 28 years. Despite that, with my dad, my parents were still married for 28 years until my mother died. Neither one of them got, they didn't get divorced. My mother passed away.
Okay. So my next question to y'all is, I want you to answer this one first, James.
Ah, man, why you all on, man? I got you. I got
so why do women use kids as a weapon of mass destruction against men?
Well, that's easy shit. I done been through that myself.
Right.
Because it's like I say, most women do it because so they could keep the man around, and it's kind of like it's like a thing with power and control.
Power check.
Yeah, because it's like they know this dude gonna want to be in his child life, so it's like I could use this as leverage. You know what I'm saying, to control him. Or, you got some men who just be like, fuck it, they just gonna walk out. They don't care. I wait till he turn 18, but most men that are good, they know the kid is what's gonna keep them coming back. So
that's interesting. What about you, Nina?
So for me, I think it's you still have feelings for that person. You still want that person.
Okay.
When I shared earlier that I walked out of that relationship after 10 years. And the reason, people ask me now, you weren't upset when he decided to marry her? I was like, no. When you give away shoes that you ain't wearing no more, and you don't like them no more, and you give them away to somebody, are you mad because they wearing them?
No.
In a way.
You through with them.
In a way, some people are jealous.
Some people are like that.
And envious.
I'm not. If I'm done with you, I'm done with you. People ask me now about my last ex. And they say, oh, he left, and then 2 months later he posted that he was in a relationship with a Caucasian young woman. And they was like, oh my God, did you have, I said, no, because I ain't want him no more. I was already not wanting him at the end of the relationship. So anyway, I said that to say, when you still wanting the person, you want to be able to use something as leverage to keep them, I agree with James, to keep them coming back. Because otherwise you wouldn't care. If you don't want him, you don't care that, you would want the child to have a relationship with their father. At the end of the day, what we as women have to realize, and as young mothers, you're not hurting that person, or you may be hurting that person, but you're also hurting your child just as much, if not more.
Yeah, and women could say, I hate you, this, and that. You get on my fucking nerves, but it's like, you gotta look at something that looks just like me every day. So it's like, how can you bash something that look just like me? But
I just saying.
And it ain't vice versa, and it's the same thing. And it's the same thing for the mothers. Like, for the fathers. You can't bash your son or your daughter mother, because at the same time, you
lay down with them.
Yeah, and it's a reflection of you. Yeah,
they was good enough then.
Yeah.
So my answer for to mess you up.
Oh, Lord.
It's pure jealousy. That's why women do it. Pure jealousy. Women do it because they see you living your best life. Her life is now affected because of the kid. She can't make money like how you make money. And her friends are showing him like, damn, he got him a new car. He moving in a new house. Then if women, it's like the syndrome of like having a toy. When you're not playing with that toy no more, and then you see like company come over or whatever, they
like
start
Woody
playing with that toy.
Story?
Now you want to put. Now they want the toy again. I'll put my toy down. That's how women see when you move on in a relationship with another woman. Put my man down. Well, how dare you come in and try to take my man? That's how women think. Like in the head, women are very territorial. And so he started getting a new family. She instantly upset. So she's wanting to do stuff like use child support, use the kid.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, do all these things to try to hurt you because she's hurting because you're thriving without her. That's why she does it. Women use kids as weapons of mass destruction because they know kids are the ultimate weapon You can get money from kids, the ultimate resource. You can get money from kids. You can get so much assistance from kids. They know that men can buck down to their calling because of their kid. The love and respect for your kid, you would do some things what a woman do. I ain't had a situation before my daughter. When my daughter was like a baby, I ain't came all the way over there. This is back before I had a vehicle. I was catching metro and all that type of stuff. And I came all the way over there, and she used to do this all the time. When wait till I get to the doorstep and tell me I couldn't get my kid.
Bro,
shit like that, bro. That's just like little kid stuff, bro. I would come from the south side all the way to North County.
Some people be trying to be controlling.
Yeah.
That's like, really what it is. It's a form of jealousy because they see you thriving, and they feel like you should be in the same thread like them. They can't write the same schedule. They can't work. They can't move. They can't do that. How dare you thrive while they're suffering? That's why.
Yeah.
I definitely think there are some women like that.
Now, so like,
can you even comment on that, or you?
I mean, I still got an opinion on it.
I know they going crazy on you in the chat. Fuck my baby.
I'm crying. So I feel like women use it as a sense of like, yeah, to keep that person around, because it's like, you know, even if y'all not in a relationship, but y'all still got a kid together, y'all still got a kid together, so y'all still, you know, have this connection. It's still your kid too. So it's like, you know, if they feel like they're doing quote unquote everything and they feel like you could quote unquote be doing more, then they're gonna use that against you as much as possible, because then it's like, dang, I need help with this, da da da. They feel entitled to that because y'all shared the kid together. Now, and I feel like women usually, you know, could use that in a sense like that, but men, I don't feel like men is gonna do that, because at the same time, like, if it's a man with his kid, he gonna figure it out. He not finna be like, oh, you not. I've seen sometimes, you know, the man put the woman on child support and stuff like that, but usually because of their demand, they're gonna try to figure it out on their own and get to it, so they're not really going to use that against her the same kind of way that a woman would, you know, jump to it in a sense like that. But yeah, definitely because of that. And then in my situation, it's a little different, because my mom would tell me that, like, my dad wasn't around early on, but then my dad would also tell me that sometimes she wouldn't let him get me, and it was only because of the people that he was hanging around or the certain things that he was doing that my mom was trying to protect me from. So it was like a protection type of thing for that. So you see, yeah, and you know, just that, and that's because, like, my mom, she didn't have nobody smoking around me. She didn't have certain people around me. Like, she didn't even bring her relationships around me unless she knew that they was gonna be together for a long time, type of thing. Like, I probably only seen my mama in like 2 actual relationships outside of that. Like, she didn't just bring people around me. So when she knew that, like, you know, sometimes if people be smoking weed around me, I'm, you know, this young, whatever, then she like, nah, you can't take your kid. I don't want her around you, type of thing. So I can get that in a sense like that too. So it was just like a kind of some things on both ends of the spectrum, but for my end, it was more like a protection type of thing.
I respect that though. So women, stop out here using your kids as weapons of mass destruction.
So let me okay. Before you go to the next question,
What's up?
do you think that your mama did the right thing, or do you think that she did a bad thing for doing that?
That's interesting.
I'm gonna say I don't really know how to answer that, because on one hand, I get why she did it. I mean, if I'm 8, 9, 10, you know, and, you know, you just don't want me around certain stuff,
Right.
and you know that if you know, let me go with my dad, it's not like you can control him and he gonna be around certain things. He's not gonna be as adamant to be on top of that, like, hey, don't smoke around my daughter, or don't, you know, take that in the other room, or, you know, that he's not gonna do that the same kind of way as she would. So on one perspective, like, I get why she did it, but on the other hand, it kind of did, you know, keep him from building a relationship with me at a certain point, which, again, this was early enough to where I didn't remember this shit. I just remember my dad being around.
So how long was it that she didn't let you, like, go around him?
It wasn't too long. Like, I mean, it could have been like maybe a year, couple years, but again, it was when I was a baby. Like, I remember around like 6. I have a picture of my dad. I'm sitting on his lap, and it was Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Like, I remember my dad early on because my other stepmom that I had at the time, she used to do my hair all the time and stuff. And my dad would try to do my hair with his heavy-handed ass. And yeah, my dad would try to do my hair, and that shit hurt. He only did it a couple times, so that's why
brushing your whole forehead and your
eyes
and everything.
Did my hair.
Did the dad ponytails.
Yeah.
So my next question, we're gonna make it quick around the table. Is,
last question.
Should a man be valuable to a woman when he first meet her? I'm gonna say yes. Should a man be valuable?
More valuable to a man, to a woman first time she meet him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes in a sense too, because in this society, women always look for, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this before I deal, before I get in a relationship with you or before I deal with you. And then sometimes they fuck it up for themselves because men are naturally gonna do what they're gonna do in a relationship. So it's like if you're coming into a relationship expecting shit, then it's like you're not really valuing him for what it is per se. So if you just come in valuing, then you're not going to really be expecting that same kind of shit, and then he could surprise you because then he's doing what you're looking for without you being demanding at the same time.
So you saying yeah or no to that?
I'm saying yeah, they should be more valued in the beginning because
valuable, like being valuable mean like how you saying he's doing something for. So should
he be doing it?
Yeah, should he be doing
more?
That question's kind of ambiguous. So you
I'm
probably
trying
saw
to
the
see
look
what
on my face.
Yeah,
like,
I already said that.
What do you mean? Because I was about to ask you what you meant by that.
It depends because.
So should a man do more materially? Or should a man do more financially to be valued?
It's meaning like if you was dating a woman, I feel like if you was dating a woman, right? You should and you see she have kids, you should automatically be valuable to her. Like, why should she give you her time? How can you?
Why should you give her your time?
That's the point.
Facts.
That's the point. But see,
Give
men.
me some, dude.
I mean, I get
But men are hunters though. That's what we are. Women are the hunt.
Right.
So if you're a hunter, that means you automatically giving her your time because you pursuing her.
But why would you invest anything, especially time that you can't get back, in something that you're not sure? Because you specifically said in the beginning, so you're not sure if this is something that's lasting. I wouldn't invest my time, my money, my nothing in them.
Right, but at the same time.
So okay, I ain't mean to cut you off. So you basically saying on the first time you meet a girl, first date.
No, I'm saying like if you starting to date her at the beginning, like you dating her in the beginning, not like a first girl you just met, but like you're dating her.
Like so, should I start valuing her and her kids?
No, like should you be valuable to her? Like should you be some form of a resource to her?
Like should she look to you for?
Should you prove yourself?
I mean, I'm proving myself just by putting up with her. You know what I'm saying?
I think different. I think yes, you should be valuable to her right from the get go because I look at it like this. If I was a woman and I'm going to entertain a man, I'm going to entertain a man who's going to help elevate my situation. Elevate is not just financial. It could be mental. It could be as being a male present for my kids.
Well, that's why
all that valuable.
That's why I was asking you to clarify.
Yeah, of course.
Because that question is.
People gonna look at it as a transaction.
No offense, it's ambiguous. It's very subjective and not objective. Because it depends on what you value. Some women cash me out. That's all I care about. That you gonna cash me out. And if you can't afford to cash me out, you're not taking me to no Cheesecake Factory. You're not taking me to no Burger King. You ain't taking me to nowhere. And for me, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. So for me, in the beginning, I tell my sons. See, I told you I keep it 100. I tell my sons all the time, don't give up nothing until they giving up something. That doesn't mean sexual. That's not what I'm talking about. They have to prove themselves just as much as you do. You have to find out about this person and see if y'all are even compatible.
Right.
Because who wants to spend time? Sorry, I'm being loud. Who wants to invest time, money, any of those things in someone and you're not sure if they're going to be here tomorrow?
Men do it all the time.
And then men do it all the time, but that's not my fault.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Should a man be valuable?
I'm answering as a woman because I'm the one seeking the man.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, I don't have to go I wait for a man to take me to Fleming's. Okay, if I want to go eat Fleming's, guess what? I got enough money in my account to go. If I go out with you, and I say this, me and my friends laugh about this all the time. I drive my own car. I paid a car note. It's a 2023. It's not fancy, but it's still brand spanking new. Okay? I have my own apartment. I have a job that pays me enough money. I don't, and somebody got mad at me when I said this, but they didn't let me finish what I was saying. I don't need a man to support me financially. The things I look for and the things that make you valuable are things other than material things.
I got you.
So for me, it's a little bit of a different question.
Hold on. And then too, you know, I think for I really don't like saying this, but it's like I think women should bring more value to the man, because it's like you said, if she got kids or whatever, what makes you think that I want to help you? You know what I'm saying?
Kid.
You know, take on all your
I get
problems.
what you're saying.
You know
I
what I'm
feel like
saying?
it's
Like
both.
you should be more valuable to me, because I'm already bringing the value, because I got to take on your baggage. I got to help you with your debt. I got to help you get your car fixed.
So that
But
means you
and every
choosing her.
woman's not like that.
But if you
One more minute.
pursuing her, then that means you choose her. That means you automatically felt like she was valuable when
That's
you
why.
choose
That's
her.
why I say choose effectively. Like I ain't finna go talk to no girl with 3 kids and she need help. You know what I'm saying? And I can't help her. Like for real.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is the last of the conversation, though. I appreciate all y'all tuning in to the Void Podcast.
Thank
on
y'all.
Thursday.
Thank you.
We definitely gonna be doing a lot more of these discussions, open discussions. So definitely tune in. Follow us on all platforms. The Void Podcast at 314. Any outros on the way out? You got anything?
Like I say, tap in. Follow me on all platforms. HGM Media. I got shit that's positive like this. I got funny shit. So if you want to laugh, I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow. So tune in. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be doing all
Yeah, we're
that.
gonna be sharing a lot on the Facebook page, the Void Podcast
Facts.
314.
Okay.
Anything got, Nina?
Thank you for tuning in. For those folks that tuned in, especially to my mechanic, shout out
I
to
knew
Corey
you was gonna
Jones.
say it.
Yeah. Shout out Corey.
That's right.
Corey.
That's
You got
right.
anything on the way up?
Oh man, nothing much. Y'all just, be easy through the week, have a good week, get to the money, get to the bread, all that
That's
good
it.
jazz. If y'all want some tattoos, pop into the Immortal Ink Tattoo Gallery. If you want some spiritual shit, go to Love Goddess Healing Oasis. But yeah.
Cool.
All right, y'all. Thanks, though.
And that's a wrap.
Right. Hey, good show, you guys. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like them talking
I enjoyed
too.
that probably more than
Oh, yeah,
than any